Hey everyone, it's Ysadora back again, and today I am going to take you through the Lemurian seed crystal. Now, it's one of the crystals that tends to be a bit, has a bit of controversy about it. It is a clear quartz crystal, but the origins around the Lemurian seed crystals and things is where the really important part comes in. So I have a really standard one here for you today. This is actually quite a large example. These retail from anywhere around $300 to $500 Australian. Now, what you'll tend to notice that classically about many Lemurian seed crystals is that they tend to have one side that is quite clear, which is probably best shown there, and then one side which has a lot more of the ancestor lines, so these side bars, and a little bit more veiling, and so it tends to occur around the crystal. You have one side clear, one side barred, one side clear, and so on. They mostly have really exceptional clarity. You can see through this one, there's a lot of detail that you can see through it. It's a really clear crystal. Some of them will tend to obviously have very special faces on the end of it. I mean, this one's got a little window face right there that you can see. And there's various other special morphologies that happen around it, but the Lemurian seed crystal as a whole tends to be one of these big single crystals that you tend to find lots of ancestor lines because it relates to the past and everything. So it's deemed to be one of the high vibration quartzes. Now what that means is that it vibrates along the higher resonances and everything like that, so it connects a lot to the crown chakra and everything beyond that. A lot of like universal knowledge and everything along those lines. It is actually thought to have come from the ancient culture of Lemuria, thus the name Lemurian seed crystal. And it is said that this culture ran everything on crystals. They would heal using the power of crystals, they would store their information on crystals, they would generate energy through crystals. So it was kind of seen as this very utopian community or utopian civilization. Unfortunately, the story goes is they got too big for their britches, essentially, and the powers that be, nature, whatever, decided to whomp them epically. So much like Atlantis, much like Mu, Lemuria was thought to either have like sunk under the ground, under the ocean, was taken out completely in a tidal wave and wiped clean. So things along those lines. Epic devastation of community. So it was actually thought that the Lemurians knew this was coming. They knew that they had screwed up. So what they were actually doing was grabbing all of their crystals and just snapping them off at the base and throwing them into the sea to try and help preserve a lot of their knowledge because, as I mentioned earlier, they stored their knowledge on the crystals. So whatever they were doing, they were just trying to get it out there for whoever was out in the future and whoever could actually find these crystals in the future. That's actually not too unusual a concept. Nikola Tesla, for once, is one of the minds that was really talking about the spirits of crystals and things being encoded onto crystals, as well as Marcel Vogel. He's actually, fairly famous for being one of the bigwigs at IBM, but he also was very interested in the idea of storing information on quartz crystals. And it was actually found that you can store quite a bit of information on a very small area of quartz crystal. So that idea really lends itself to this whole Lemurian seed crystal information storing thing. So on a metaphysical side, people tend to use Lemurian seed crystals for a lot of meditation. There is a lot of people that tend to sort of meditate with them and tune into them to try and connect in with this knowledge of the ancient culture, as well as people that want to connect in with the healing energy of those people. It's thought that they did a lot of their healing work with crystals as well, so people sort of really try and connect in with them for that aspect as well. So these sort of little rungs up the side of it, the ancestor lines, the barcoding, if you will, it is thought that they're kind of like rungs of a ladder. So when people do a lot of meditations with them, a lot of the time they will even like move their fingers up the rungs to sort of move their way forward through the meditation or move their way in deeper into the trance-like state and into the secrets within the crystal. So that's one of the ways that you can use it while meditating. They're also used for a lot of really deep healing, as I mentioned. So a lot of energetic healers find these really good, like perfect points to really direct their energy whenever they're doing a healing and all of those sorts of things. So that is roughly a quick look at the Lemurian seed crystal and one of its sort of ways that's quite important. This one's actually for sale at the moment. I do have it up on my webpage, which is www.3marigna.com. The Marigna obviously being named after the Morrigan and her ravens. Or otherwise you can find it on our Facebook group, which is 3 Marigna Magical Supplies, magical with a CK. And yeah, if there's anything else, absolutely pop us a comment, let me know. And if you have any other questions, anything you want to look at, just ask. I will be back on Thursday for a live question and answer of all things witchy and crystally. So we'll see how that goes. We've got some really, really exciting questions in. Thank you. I'll see you later.